on, gang? It's your boy Mac Mula, aka Mr. Mula Mac. I'm back with another video. Y'all know Trap Lord Ross got boot on land, feet on land. He is in the Lil Durk trial. He's in there with Lil Durk. He's in there with the co-defendants. He's in there with the judges. He's in there with the lawyers. He's in the actual courtroom trial, reporting on everything. Now, the trial, I think, actually started officially yesterday, and day one of the trial, let's just say it ain't looking good for Schmirkio, Durkio, Schmirkio.
It's only day one of this Lil Durk trial, and they already sabotaging him, man. Down from the first words that was stated in court today by the judge to the jury selection and the instructions. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross. He's been in court doing an excellent job reporting on this trial from day one.
Ross, man. Appreciate you, brother.
But the judge came to court today, and he said something that I have a really big problem with. But for some reason, is not being treated with the seriousness and severity it should be treated as. This is not okay. Now, this isn't even the most serious offense that I believe is sabotaging. This is just the beginning. Let's take a look.
All right, folks, so I'm here at the federal courthouse for day one officially of Lil Durk's murder for hire trial. And I'm not going to lie.
What they say, insane starts Lil Durk murder trial. Judge nearly ended everything on day one.
Things got off to an absolutely insane start. It was actually a wild start.
No
disrespect to the judge, but the judge made just a little bit of an accident. Look, we're only human, but the judge accidentally said something that nearly completely ended the whole proceedings. Like, it was actually crazy.
What the hell?
So the judge was kind of introducing everything, you know, reintroducing the charges.
Right.
The prosecutors had their opportunity to, like, reintroduce to this potential jury what the charges are.
If you wondering why I got this basketball, I don't know. I'm just feeling like a baller today, dude. I'm just feeling like a baller, dude. I just got the basketball, dude. Sometimes I just like the ball, dude, because I'm balling.
Be facing everything that's going on with that.
Focus.
And what was really crazy is that, you know, during the judge kind of explaining what was going on, he made just a slip of the tongue. It was completely accidental. You know, it wasn't like anything where I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was gonna create any bias, but it was a pretty wild moment. And they basically sort of reread the charges, and then they said, oh, you know, all of the defendants, they pled guilty to these charges. And then it was like straight gasps in the courtroom. People were like, what? There were people that were already in the courtroom. They were handing out like leaflets, like free Durk booklets and leaflets, postcards. I got given, I got one right here. I got given like a free Durk postcard. So I guess I might be team free Lil Durk now. Shout out to the people that are in there, you know, doing their thing. But there was this absolutely wild moment where the judge said, yeah, they all pled guilty. And then it was like, gasp, it was like, what? And then he was like, I mean, not guilty, my bad. And he kept it moving. Now, look, he was very professional. I don't think that is anything that you could say was going to taint the jury or going to cause any major problems.
No.
It was just, look, it was only a ton. But it was like a raucous start. Like, the courtroom gasped. And then when he corrected it, it was like, there was sort of like chuckles. People couldn't really believe what was going on. And it was just like, it was.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. But ain't it's funny when a nigga on trial for his life.
Call the popo, huh?
Hey, no, for real, niggas in that bitch. Serious as hell, shorty. You feel me? Fuck you. That boy on trial facing life in prison. Ain't shit funny about now. They talk about it, that bitch. You hear me?
Man, ain't it's funny, man. At all. Not a goddamn thing funny when a nigga on trial for his life, man. So all that chuckling, all that ha ha ha. Oh, my apologies, sir. Oh, I didn't mean no. Man, cut it out, man. Hey, bruh. Mistrial. Start this over. I don't even want a possibility that somebody in this room could hear that. Now that person leaves this room already biased, thinking I'm guilty. Now they related to somebody who maybe picked for this jury pool. Now that person is already, man, I don't even, man, cut it out, man. Man, restart this trial over with, man. What you talking about?
I feel you, folks. That's how I feel, shit.
Now the probability that the public being swayed by this is slim.
Yeah.
But when somebody's life is on the line, ain't no room for a mistake, ain't no room for mistakes, ain't no room.
Shit.
At all. For none of that, bruh. At all.
No cap, nigga. I agree.
So, I don't think that was funny. Now, that's not the most egregious thing that took place in court today.
Damn, it's worse.
That I personally felt like, hold on, bro. You
about to get worse, Twinsky?
Bro, I don't believe in
checking up the protein check, man.
Like, now, do I feel like that was meant to be malicious towards Lil Durk? I don't know. Or do I think it was a complete accident? I don't think so. Maybe he was trying to be funny.
No, I don't think the court was trying to be
Maybe
funny.
he was trying to break the ice in the courtroom, but that's a bad way to break the ice, man.
It's just a little.
He probably got all the damn co-defendants in that bitch snitching. That's what he meant to say. All the co-defendants in here snitching, so this gonna be a quick case. Oh, I mean, my bad.
Like, it was just a crazy start. And like I say, people are in there, they're fighting for Durk's innocence. Look, I'm not going to lie. There were a few people in there. I didn't get any hate, fortunately, but there were people in there saying how much they hate DJ Academics, saying that he's spreading bad narratives, that, you know, they're fighting for justice for Durk. Durk's innocent. And respect to everybody that was there and is, you know, giving their opinion across for this. I even actually got an opportunity just now. I hope they don't mind me saying this, but to speak to Big Durk, Durk's father. You know, he said he appreciated some of the positive coverage that I've done. Obviously, I've done some positive, some negative. But, you know, as I said to him, I said, look, I really try and cover the positives. I'm not biased. I'm really not trying to be biased.
Ain't nothing positive about you going to LA and killing no nigga, man. If you want the chance to win 2 tickets to a UFC event in Los Angeles, plus $2,000, you need to listen to this right now. Stop what you're doing and listen. Morgan & Morgan is giving away 2 tickets to the UFC 331 in Los Angeles, plus $2,000 for all travel expenses. And I know there's a lot of y'all UFC fans that like to see a little fight or something, like to see a little person get knocked out or something. So I think this is a very cool opportunity for all my supporters to win 2 free tickets, plus $2,000 for all travel expenses to the UFC 331 in Los Angeles, like I said, man. Because just like UFC fighters bring their everything to the octagon, Morgan & Morgan brings their everything to all their clients in courtrooms all across America. In the UFC, they fighting for a check. Morgan & Morgan is fighting to get you a check. You see how this giveaway is starting to make sense now? Now you probably like, Mula, how do I enter the contest, man? Click the link in the description. Or it also be in the pinned comment down below. So you can bring your girlfriend, your homeboy, your brother. It don't matter. Just 2 free tickets plus $2,000. You can't beat that, man. I said it's a sweepstakes, so good luck. Hopefully somebody that's watching right now, hopefully you win, bro. I hope that you win, bro. Sis, whoever you is, I hope you win. Click the link in the description and enter the sweepstakes. Good luck to everybody. And yeah, have fun at the event. Escape. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. He could get found not guilty. I think he did it. I think I think he had something to do with it. I think he know what was going on. I think all of that. And there's really nothing you can do or say to convince me unless I see some crazy evidence in trial that was like, oh no, they lying on bro. He ain't do that. Which the feds, I just can't see that happening with the feds. But if you ask me, in my opinion, I think he had everything to do with that murder. And I think he was laughing and rubbing his hands like Birdman when they got him. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So
they worry about the wrong ish, man. Yo, Lil Durk, Durk, get your team, bro. They worry about the wrong stuff. You on trial right now for murder.
Right.
You fighting for your life.
You trying to talk
You trying not to do life in prison, and your team is in court. Instead of being focused on the case, being focused on the trial, they worry about DJ Academics.
Right.
They worry about media and blogs.
Stupid motherfucker.
Sir, he's on trial. You're in court, and like that's your focus?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the most concerning part about all of this. It's the jury selection.
Why is DJ Academics being brought up in court? All he do is sit at his crib just like me. Sit at the crib, talk shit. Why are you bringing up DJ Academics in court? Who the fuck is bringing up DJ Academics in court? That nigga ain't on the news. He not no official reporter. He ain't in the trial. He ain't no lawyer. He ain't no judge. He not in politics. Like,
see, we all know what the game plan is, man. The game plan when it comes to one of us, we don't want one of them like in this jury. We don't want one of them in this jury because we understand what the repercussions is, man.
Want one of what?
If one of them is in this jury, they gonna have each other back. We don't want one of them. But they can't just come out and say, hey, no niggas. no, they can't say that because they understand the repercussions.
Right.
Okay?
No
right,
niggas?
yo, you come out and say, no niggas, hey, man, even if you find him guilty, like mistrial, bruh. So they use coded language. And when I listen to the jury...
Now, this I do know about the jury selection because from my understanding, the jury... And I got a lot of this shit from like TV shows, so I don't know what's true or not. But from my understanding, the jury selection is kind of like the prosecutor and the defense lawyer going back and forth on who they agree with to be in the jury. And then I think maybe the judge makes the final decision. So for example, in this case, the defense Lil Durk's defense lawyers would prefer to have maybe some younger black males, maybe a younger black female in there that can relate to Lil Durk. Maybe their cousin went to jail and they could just find Lil Durk not guilty just because they like his music or because, you know, they look like they brother or they look like they, you know what I'm saying? But the prosecutor is going to want older, middle-aged to the later years of life, white, Asian people. So it's kind of like that's going to be the conflict of interest. I mean, not the conflict of interest. That's going to be the battle.
Instructions or the questions for the jury selection, all I hear is coded language. Trying to violate Durk's right to a jury of his peers. This is coded language for no black folks. And the questions they were asking is very strategic because they about to target them.
Okay, so I'm here outside the federal courthouse for day one of the Lil Durk murder for hire trial. And what is really interesting is that jury selection has begun. So let me give you the update on exactly what's going on. We've just had jury selection. Basically, jury selection is now ongoing.
First of all, I don't think that that's violating his rights. I think they just want a neutral. They want people who are neutral. You don't know Quando Rondo because they could also find some niggas that's from Georgia. They can also find some Georgia niggas in that bitch that love Quando Rondo and they big cousin, little cousin, homie Tracy cousin, sister, brother is Quando Rondo cousin who got killed. You feel? So you just want somebody to be neutral. Somebody who's neutral. They not on the police side, they're not on the defense side, they're not on the victim side. They just neutral. You want to find neutral people so they could be unbiased in their decision.
It was a packed courtroom. They've got 80 potential jurors. It sounds like that's probably like, I don't know if I want to say it's unusual, but it sounded like it was kind of on the more heavy side. Yeah. What's really, really interesting is that obviously they've got so many jurors, they've got so many options because there's really so much scope for this to go wrong with the jurors. I'm not going to lie. They said straight up to all of the jurors in the courtroom, look, this is about a murder case related to a very well-known rap superstar, like a star. He is a big name. You might have heard of him. All right, they said that they were going to give the jurors a massive questionnaire to try and find out a whole bunch of different things. Now, unfortunately, the media and the public, they're not going to be privy to what's on that questionnaire, so we don't know who's on the witness list. We don't know what was asked on the questionnaire. But what we do know is that it was very big, it was very comprehensive, and apparently what we did hear is that some of the stuff that they are going to be asked is if the jurors are into rap music, if they're into hip-hop, what their relationship is with hip-hop, what their kind of history is, kind of following this kind of case, this kind of coverage, if they've got any knowledge of the judge, of the lawyers, if there's any backstory that kind of, you know, might make them biased, and they've been given that questionnaire. So I thought it was going to be a longer day today.
This jury pool is from Southern California, Los Angeles County, Southern California, right?
No niggas down there for real.
And in the surrounding areas. If you are asking, hey, do you know anything about hip-hop music? And that's going to, quote-unquote, disqualify you. Yeah, what's your relationship to hip-hop music? Do you listen to hip-hop music? And if that's a disqualifier, who's going to get disqualified in Southern California that listens to hip-hop? Blacks is out of here.
Yeah, but it's not really a race. You can't really make it a race thing. They're going to do that in any high-profile rap federal case. They're going to do that. It's not necessarily... It don't have to be race. It could be fucking Eminem up there. They gonna ask, do you listen to hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't want to make it like a racial thing because at the end of the day, this is a black man on trial for killing another black man. So it's not a racial thing at all.
Probably Mexicans, you out of here. Who's left? Indians.
Asians.
Like some Asians, grandmamas probably, white folks.
Yeah.
Right? So we understand what this is. Yo, this is like coded language. Hey, bruh, no urban folks, sorry. Or like even things
makes
like,
sense, though. That's logical.
Yeah, where'd you grow up? The minute you say, hey, I grew up in South Central, out of here. So go out of here. Don't, don't even bother filling out the rest of the questionnaire, man. You put South Central, out of here. Sorry. Now, they're going to use these coded languages, and they would never say, hey, it's because you're black. No, they would use any other disqualifier. Like, for example, in the Carmelo Anthony case, They brought on 2 teachers that fit the bill to a T. Who's more qualified to judge something that took place on school grounds than 2 former teachers or 2 teachers in general? They say that these 2 quote-unquote black women who were former teachers are disqualified because, you know, we think that if they teachers, they'll be biased or something that took place on a school. I say, all right, bruh.
But that's crazy and weird because, again, whoa, what happened to my camera? Okay, that was a racial thing though, because Carmelo Anthony was on trial for killing a white boy. So that's where it's different. In this case, it doesn't really matter if the jury is white or black. It just matters if the jury is neutral and unbiased. Because the same way, okay, you might not want 1 million white people in there, but you also don't want 1 million niggas in there with tattoos that went to jail 5 times. That, you know what I'm saying? Because that could be biased in that way too. So it's you kind of try to find a middle ground, in my opinion. But whatever.
So with this Durk case, asking things like, yo, where'd you grow up at? Yo, do anybody in your family listen to rap music? You know, do you have a cousin that likes rap music? There's code of language for no iggas. All right? None of us involved. Now, how does that play out for Lil Durk? This is supposed to be a jury of his peers. If Lil Durk don't got anybody from his background, anybody from his community, anybody who have experienced things that he have experienced, anybody from the communities he was raised in, then how can they fairly judge the actions of Lil Durk? How can they fairly distinguish between this is just rap lyrics, this is him actually...
What did he just say? I'll fuck with Flacco, but sometimes...
the communities he was raised in, then how can they fairly judge the actions of community who have experienced things that he have experienced? Anybody from the communities he was raised in, then how can they fairly judge the actions of Lil Durk? How can you expect a bunch of niggas from the community that he's from, how can you expect them to fairly judge? Because bro, we're not gonna act like 99% of y'all be in the comment section saying free Durk, knowing damn well in the back of your head, knowing damn well that he probably had something to do with that. Y'all say that shit just because y'all want a new album. Y'all want some new songs. Community. Let me tell you why. Because the communities that he's from say no snitching, no police, free everybody. I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy, even if it was a serial killer. They say stupid shit like that. So can we really expect people from his community to be fair and judge it fairly too? I just spit like a bitch. Judge it fairly too? No. So it's kind of like the nigga. I mean, like, come on, gang. We know how this shit go. But what I will say that the people who are not from his community, what I will say that they will judge, where I would think is more fair on that side, I think it's more fair because they will look at it like, okay, fuck his music and did he kill this motherfucker? Did they go kill this person? Are they guilty of killing this nigga? Because if let y'all niggas in the comments go to be in the jury, y'all will be like, y'all don't give a fuck what they talking about in the trial. Not guilty, I want a new album. Really distinguish between this is just rap lyrics, this is him actually like admitting within good faith to commit a murder. Oh no, this is just how rappers talk or men
I ain't
from
gonna
this
lie, bro. The rap lyrics is not relevant. Is y'all trying to make it seem like it's relevant? They got snitches, bro. They got phone calls, text messages, screenshots. Them trying to delete shit, delete evidence. They got flight logs, credit card payments. They got shit. The lyrics, they only fucking implement like a song or two. The lyrics don't matter, bro. The lyrics don't matter. That's going to be a small, negligible part of the case.
Community talk when they're angry versus, oh no, he actually had plans on murdering these people. is people from the community who have the same experience as Lil
y'all
Durk.
know damn well he
Those would
killed
be
the
the
people,
people more qualified to fully understand the nuance that comes with this case. But because these folks are using coded language to
how the hell the niggas from the hood gonna know if he
sabotage the jury selection, Lil Durk won't get a fair trial. He won't get a jury of his peers.
They ended up ending it after sort of half a day.
What
They've
the
given
comments
those
say on this
instructions
shit?
to the jury. They've given out those questionnaires, and those jurors are going to come back tomorrow.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying, bro. Man, please, Durk paid for them hits. Now he a victim talking about something. He ain't getting a fair trial. Man, get the fuck out of here. So how you want it, dog? You want them to ship a jury to Chicago, to LA? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want a bunch of hood niggas to come in there? What you think they gonna say when they get in there? What you think they gonna say when they get in there? Why the fuck would you put dusty gang members on a jury and expect them to make a fair and honest? That's what I'm saying. Am I tripping somewhere? I'm glad the comments on my side, because I'm sitting here like, bro, ain't no way you saying this, bro. Nigga always trying to make it a race issue. Durk wasn't setting up white people for hits. He was taking out black people. But if a white person is in on a jury is racist, that's what I said. Carmelo Anthony, it was different because Carmelo Anthony got accused for killing a white boy. Lil Durk wasn't killing no white people. If you know how jury selection is done, then you would know both sides get to pick juries to avoid bias. Exactly. You got too much faith. There's literally 2 to 3 snitches on this case. Exactly. I like I said, bro, I put my faith in the old white man with 3 kids and a granddaughter. Then I put into a bunch of gangbanging niggas from the hood. Or not even gangbang, just niggas from the hood in general. Like I said, y'all niggas are if it's a bunch of women, y'all find him not guilty just because y'all want a chance to sleep with the nigga. If it's a bunch of hood niggas, y'all will say not guilty just because y'all want him to drop a new album, or just because no snitching, no face, no K, all the stupid shit y'all say in the hood. Man, that nigga cooked, man. He smoked, man. Smoked turkey, man. It's over with, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go ahead, get the trial ass so they can sentence his ass. We can stop talking about it, man. His ass cooked, and rightfully so. Y'all know damn well he had something to do with that shit, man. Y'all knew that shit for years. Now he get locked up. Now y'all got shit. Now y'all acting like, oh, he the victim, or like somebody did something to him, man. Cut it, man. Beat it.
And then we're basically going to hear from the lawyers. We're going to determine basically whether or not, some of the jurors are going to be excluded. What was really interesting is they said that they're basically, by the end of tomorrow, they need to have turned 80 jurors into 16. Specifically, there's going to be like 12 jurors that are, the main jurors, then there's going to be 4 alternates. And what was really fascinating was that they kind of explained like some of the backstory as far as, what things they're allowed to find out, what they're not. They're not allowed to get their addresses, but they are allowed to find out, what area they stay in from Los Angeles, what their professions are, who they live with. They said, we need to find out if you guys live with a music executive, if you live with somebody in law enforcement, if you're kind of, just anything along the lines that might make you tainted in this context. And I do have a feeling that there is probably going to be a fight. There's a rumor going around that there were only a handful of black jurors in the jury pool. Now, look, I can't confirm or deny that. I didn't see any of the jurors. I know some people had kind of maybe thought that they'd seen jurors in the hallway. I don't think that can be fully confirmed, so I'm not going to jump the gun on that, and I don't have the information on that. But obviously, you probably have seen that there are rumors going around about the races of the jurors. But at the end of the day, all right, the judge has been very fair. The judge is going to make it very clear what's allowed, what's not allowed. And really, I don't think race has been a really big part of this so far. And I doubt it's going to be going forward. But people are saying that there are some black jurors on the table, and we're going to find out how that develops by tomorrow.
I think it's crucial Lil Durk got black jurors on that jury box. But beyond black jurors, can we at least get people who come from a similar community that Lil Durk come from? Now, again, this is Southern California. Lil Durk is from Chicago. But people who are from the urban environment, people who understand the nuances that has to exist in this case. You ask somebody from, I don't know, Beverly Hills their entire life to look at Lil Durk's actions and his text messages. Right?
He killed people in Beverly Hills. He killed somebody in Beverly Hills. He's accused of it at least. So allegedly, put out there for, legal reasons. But he's accused of killing somebody in Beverly Hills, getting somebody killed in Beverly Hills. So why would a bunch of niggas? He didn't kill nobody in the hood. So why would a bunch of hood niggas be there to be the jury? Come on, gang. Flacco, you better than this, bro. You know damn well that nigga smoked them niggas.
And him having a crew of guys that he texts with in a group chat. Him talking about sticks. Or him telling Quando Rondo, man, bro, take this piece from this switch. Languages like that, we can look at and we can say, okay, I mean, he's upset right here. This is just how people talk from where he's from. This is just
See, you already making excuses for him, gang. You know what the fuck he meant when he said take a piece of this switch, bro. You know what he meant. But y'all, that's what y'all would do if y'all was in the trial. Y'all would make excuses for him because you don't want a niggas to do that just so they don't go back to the hood and get called a snitch, man.
go.
Man, you found Lil Durk guilty, old police ass nigga. You can't come around here no more. Man, cut it, man.
This does not equate to he actually had plans on murdering Lil Pop and Quando Rondo. But bro, you show that to somebody from Beverly Hills, somebody from like Santa Clarita. Right? Somebody from, I don't know, bruh. All right? Like up there, right? Like Chino Hills. They're not understanding the nuance, right? Lil Durk is a murderer to them. Now, here's the good news, though.
Why do you have to understand? I'm sorry I keep pausing it. Why do we have to understand the nuance of rap music to judge if this nigga went and paid for somebody to get killed? I don't give a fuck what he said in no song. I'm positive and trust and believe the prosecutors are going to show the messages and they're going to explain, probably with expert witnesses and shit. They're going to explain what these words mean. But just how you just did right there, Flacco, you just tried to make an excuse for him. Oh, he didn't really mean it. He just meant this. He should be judged by people who are non-biased and neutral. People who don't know who the fuck Lil Durk is. People who don't know nothing good about him, don't know nothing bad about him. Maybe they heard the song with Drake on the radio a few times, but they don't know who he is. Versus a fan of him. Somebody who loves his music. Somebody who grew up on his music. Because y'all will very simply be biased. Y'all know this nigga is cooked. Stop trying to save him. He's not no victim. He's the suspect. Nothing happened to him. Lil Pab is the one that got killed. King Von is the one that's not here no more. Nothing happened to Lil Durk. He's not a victim. And even King Von not no victim because he started it. It's time to be gangster, nigga. So beat the case how you gonna beat the case, or lose it how you gonna lose it, and take your shit to the chin. We don't want to hear no crying, no sobbing, no appeals, none of that. Go do your life sentence, chin up, chest out like the gangster you was outside, nigga.
Have officially ruled that they can never, they can't describe this as a murder on behalf of the gang in trial. And the reason why that's important is because Lil Durk, there's very little connection from Lil Durk to this murder. They don't got Lil Durk instructing nobody to do this. Lil Durk don't got any transactions, like monetarily, that's linked to this at all. All they have is Lil Durk telling somebody, hey, don't book any flights under my name. And they got some snitches claiming that Lil Durk paid them.
Okay, that's... what the fuck? Bro, that's enough, bro. That's enough, bro. Trust me, believe. A snitch is... Bro, man, y'all crazy.
But without the gang connection to this, you can't really paint this as, hey, everybody who did this was on the OTF label. Lil Durk is, the president, the owner, the leader of OTF, so hence Lil Durk is culpable, right? Because you can't bring up the gang aspect of this.
All right, I'm here outside the federal courthouse. We just had day one of the Lil Durk trial. It's no longer a hearing. It is now a full-blown trial. It is serious. It's the real deal, all right? There's a few interesting things going on outside the courthouse, inside these rooms. But what was really interesting that I heard today was really the judge giving specific instructions on the gang memberships and what's allowed to be said and what's not allowed to be said. Now, what was really fascinating in the kind of the final pre-trial hearing was that the judge has basically ruled, look, he is very adamant when he gave Durk the big W and severed the two different murder charges, the Vicar count, which is the Chicago murder, the Stephon Mack murder, that's allegedly a gang-related murder. A GD rival of Lil Durk's, who was connected to the people that they say, killed Lil Durk's brother D-Thang. They're basically saying that, okay, that is a gang-related murder. That's separate. All right, we're going to try and put that on the calendar. But this murder, this Los Angeles murder, it wasn't a gang murder. They're saying the act itself wasn't an act of gang violence. What it was that they were basically, trying to, get revenge for what happened to King Von. Obviously, the judge made it very, very clear that what is going to be allowed to be discussed is King Von's gang membership, the gang membership between the defendants and co-defendants and co-conspirators. That basically means that they are relevant to each other, like how they know each other from way back being in gangs, the reason and the motivation and the motive for allegedly wanting to King Von because he was such a prominent member of the Black Disciples. But what they're not allowed to do and what they're not allowed to look into and talk about is, the gang reasons. They're not allowed to say that it was a gang-related murder. And what I noticed, and bear in mind, I've looked into this story extensively. I've looked very, very deep into Quando Rondo's gang affiliations, his membership of the Rollin' 60 Crips, but in Savannah, Georgia, these gangs kind of have a lot of different, I don't know the right word, but sets kind of all around the country. And, Quando Rondo's gang membership has never been brought up, and they're not going to be allowed to basically talk about gang membership in context of the murder of Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab. But what is interesting is the judge said, look, it's up to the jury. If the jury decide based on the testimony that they think Durk and them were all in a gang and were doing gang stuff, that's fine. But that might not necessarily mean that they believe that he did the murder, and vice versa. They can say, he said that, look, the jury might be completely unconvinced that Durk was ever in any kind of gang, but if they're convinced that he orchestrated the murder for hire with his co-conspirators, then they can still find him guilty even if they don't believe that there's any sort of gang membership. So
let me ask y'all a question. If you was on trial for murder and this was the good news that you got today, how do you feel? I wouldn't feel like, okay, I mean, what the fuck is that doing? That's not making me sleep better at night.
Really interesting kind of back and forth. Some of the, stuff that's going to be allowed, I think is going to make a big difference. But I think that is a big key issue that the judge has ruled on, the gang membership. Whether
I got no problem with bringing up, King Von was this, these people are this, this is how they're connected to King Von. This is what motivation they would have. However, that's entirely different than saying, Lil Durk is a gang leader. Lil Durk is the gang leader of OTF. These people is from OTF. They committed this murder. So hence, Lil Durk is tied into this that way. No, if you can't tie him in that way, it's almost impossible to tie Lil Durk into this murder. Now, everybody else,
okay,
right? Like OTF, BB, and the rest of them, I mean, good luck. Y'all doing life. There's no chance y'all beat this.
Oh, so you think they gonna do life by themselves? You think they gonna do life and not bring Lil Durk with them? Yeah, okay.
At all, under no circumstances, y'all doing life behind this. Now, OTF Vonnie, he took a plea deal. I think the plea deal is contingent on what he does when trial starts. But Vonnie might do about 20 to 30 while other people do life. But Lil Durk, I think, is going to beat this 100%. Well, not 100%, because I'm not going to say that, bro. But I think Lil Durk is going to beat this. There's not enough here to give Lil Durk life in prison. There's just not enough here. I don't see it.
Okay.
This would be a miscarriage of justice if Lil Durk gets found guilty. A miscarriage of justice. The only thing that Lil Durk did, or the mistake that he made, was Lil Durk kept a lot of snakes around him. OTF Jam is testifying. He gave.
So you don't think the screenshots in his phone trying to find out Lil Tim's address right after he got on house arrest, that's not no evidence? That's nothing, right? That's nothing? That's enough, right? That's not enough, but that's a substantial amount of evidence. And they still ain't done looking through that phone, by the way. They still trying to crack that phone. Y'all got too much hope for these people, man. Y'all and y'all jump ship too much. Tuesday, y'all be like, he cooked. Wednesday, he 100% getting out. Thursday, man, I've been saying the same thing the whole time. That nigga cooked, man. If he by the grace of God beat this trial, what's the chances of him beating this trial and the gang Rico after this? He got snitches in that case too. Come on, gang.
Jam 50,000 when Jam came home. Vonnie, he took Vonnie to the ice box, put ice on his neck. He ain't never experienced no treatment like that before, man. Bro, Lil Durk did something for Vonnie that Vonnie's own father ain't never did for him, man. And now Vonnie taking a stand to rat on Lil Durk. This comes with the streets. But I don't think they can snitch good enough to get Lil Durk guilty on murder charges in this case.
Okay.
The next case after this, just Pack it up, bro. Yeah, bro. Lil Durk best chances, bro. After this murder case, just take the plea deal. Go sit down for 10 or 15, man. Because you go to trial for that, Rico. Good luck, man. But y'all let me know in the comment section.
The comment section is is agreeing with me. Durk go down just how he wanted. Just make sure he can do that 40-year sentence. Rumor is 2 of the O Block 6 are 2 of the. That's what I had said too, but whatever. No motherfuckers ain't listen to me when I said it. 2 of the O Block 6 are 2 out of the 35 witnesses coming to the stand. Some sources are suggesting that the reason they haven't been sentenced was because somebody was trying to make a deal with the feds by cooperating against Lil Durk. Told y'all that. Durk is finished. He got 20 more witnesses against him. I never heard anything like that before in my life, man. Durk did this, and even if he didn't, he did several other crimes to earn this. Scorpions don't change. He crashed out for a violent murderer that had several bodies. Not only did he crash out, he crashed out over a violent dude attacking someone and dying in a legal justified defense. The judge know they cooked too. Flacco the groundhog. Damn, they're treating him like that. That's disrespectful. If the judge is making mistakes, it definitely help with the appeal. If he loses, the judge, that's mistake is nothing, bro. The judge, game over. Smirk coming home. Yeah, okay. We're going to thumbs that up. Shout out to the barber. The lawyers have asked those questions to jury, ensure there are no biases. That's not coded language. Yeah, I think that y'all just be trying to like force the race shit a little too much sometimes. Why y'all on here sugarcoating this shit? Flacco, you making hella excuses for Durk. You know damn well in all them interviews and songs he was talking about these niggas dying. He was out here moving sloppy. Call it like it is. That boy did some goofy-ish to look cool. This is exactly what I said. This is how I feel right here. That boy did some goofy shit to look cool for the public and crashed out. If he did it, he need to go to prison like any of us that would do this mess. What if he did it? What if he did do it? You want him to get off for murder because he one of your favorite? That's how y'all act. Y'all want this nigga to get off for murder because he a favorite. He a good, cool rapper. Y'all move the goalposts too much and are selective energy givers. Living that life come with death or prison. Stop acting like they don't know the outcome. Preach, nigga. Drop bombs on that nigga. That boy Cook, stop it. He said you sound really stupid. If it was a big deal, Durk lawyer would have asked this to excuse the jury that were present. If there was any jury there. So if the lawyer didn't do that, then it doesn't mean anything. There is no slip of the tongue. The judge is the one that sound crazy saying that it was his apologies. Lock him up, man. 75% he is going down for this. He going to give the state a lot of money. The questionnaire doesn't eliminate you if could get you elected. I don't know. Y'all crazy as hell. I ain't got no confidence in this nigga. Let's see what Google say, though. What are the chances of Lil Durk beating his murder for hire case? Give me a percentage chance. It is legally impossible to assign. Yeah, so they're not even going to do it. I was trying to see what they would say. Let me see if... fuck it, don't matter. Lil Durk trial odds. The small percentage of federal defendants who actually go to trial like Durk, the government still wins 80 to 85% of the time. So statistically, he only got a 15 to 20% chance. But here is what is going on. So federal agents like the FBI spend months or years building cases before making an arrest. In Lil Durk's case, prosecutors possess flight logs, text messages, and crucial cooperating witnesses from within his own inner circle. This deep paper trail is why federal acquittal numbers are historically very low. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit that's going to come out in this trial that we are going to see. Has all the evidence against Lil Durk been made public? Not all specific investigative details or unedited source material are public, but the core evidence, witness claims, and key pieces outlined in federal court documents. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really say I don't give a fuck for real. I mean, you know, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, but I think he cooks, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.